Welcome to the first episode of KC Sports Bros Podcast. This is your host, Darnell. To my right, we got...
This is Dre. To my right.
Got your boy Big Ern.
All right.
To my right.
Trey. I'm the producer, but I'm filling in until our fourth party member gets here.
Sounds good. So,
He can introduce himself when he gets here.
You don't get no introduction.
He late. He don't get nothing.
Right.
so we're going to hop into these topics, cover a few sports topics, and then, of course, eventually throughout all the rest of the episodes being KC Sports Bros, Chiefs and Royals, and stuff will be real heavy in the rotation. So, our topics on today, we're going to talk about... We talking about Antonio Brown, NFL contracts, Team USA, Carmelo, and the NFL predictions for the upcoming season. So we'll shift over to Ern and hit with that Antonio Brown as we go into our first segment of the episode.
Yeah. I don't know where you guys were at. I was actually at work, kind of looked down, and the caption was, Antonio Brown's not reporting to camp.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I mean, was anybody surprised with Dre?
I mean, I've been a little suspect anyway with the whole foot injury thing because I've been hearing different reports on that, so I wasn't quite sure what was going on with that. Then they said he had frostbite, so I was like, okay.
Oh, that was nasty.
Yeah, it was
They
great.
had his toes all on the camera. I was like, what are they doing?
I purposely didn't go to his Instagram because I didn't want to see it.
Right.
But so I didn't know exactly what was going on, why he was sitting out. But then, yeah, like you said, the helmet thing dropped, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, Antonio Brown helmet drama is just the latest in the Raiders' chaos. So obviously, you know, the Raiders are the Raiders.
Right.
And, you know, Antonio Brown being a real big polarizing figure. Basically why I said, were you surprised? Because it's Antonio Brown. You never know what you're going to expect from that man.
That's true.
You know, kind of the details on it was, I guess he had a certain helmet that he used with the Steelers that he used every year. And obviously, you know, me being the guy that I am, I got to have the same routine. And so I guess he's pretty superstitious like I am. And, you know, he goes to the Raiders, and I guess he had like a custom, like that Steelers helmet being painted to the Raiders and decal and colors and everything like that, and I guess I didn't pass the NFL standards or somehow. So I guess stay tuned with that, and I guess we'll have an update next week on it.
Well, you know what I wonder? Like, well, when you bring in somebody like Antonio Brown, you saw the theatrics that was happening in Pittsburgh, the Steelers, and Antonio Brown, like Odell Beckham and anyone else, Terrell Owens, those type of receivers, they are who they are. And so no matter where they go, who they play for, the situation, there's going to be spotlight on them, whether it's good or bad. And right now it just happens to be kind of drama because he hasn't touched the field yet, so there's nothing to overshadow it. And so I guess my concern or my question would be, why didn't they just get a helmet that looked exactly like it and then just tell him it was the same one? Like, I know that's childish, but you don't have time for this. We got stuff to do.
Man, you can't do that.
Why? Well, how can you sit there and ask for a helmet?
He's like, gonna know. He's gonna know. He's worn that helmet in so many games, so many practices. He's gonna know. He is. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
He is being childish. Let's just, you know, call a spade a spade. But I think the NFL. I think the NFL is going too far with it as well. Because I mean, hey, he's going out there. All these NFL players are going out there risking their lives. He should be able to wear what the hell he wants to.
My only concern with that is that the rule is about it having to be not more than 10 years old for the helmet. And that is put into place for safety. I mean, I get, you know, saying about wanting to be able to see the ball better, going downfield to make your catch.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get hit and then can't play either. And So, it's the NFL's responsibility to make sure the players are safe.
Yeah, they got to.
And I think it just becomes overshadowed because it's Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Who seems to have something going on quite often now.
Upstairs there.
Yeah.
And definitely with kind of speaking to the safety point that you were bringing out, with all the money that they've had to pay out for that concussion lawsuit.
Oh, yes.
A couple of years back,
CT.
NFL is taking safety. That's like their number one priority now. And like Darnell was saying, if it's not, it has to be mandated by the league as a safe helmet to wear. And anything that's 10 years or older is automatically obsolete from that point on. And so they're just trying to protect their brand and trying to protect themselves, legally, to make sure they're not in jeopardy with anything. But at the same time, I could see where Antonio's coming from. He's like, look, I've been wearing this helmet pretty much all my career. Why should it be a problem? And we should point out too that the decision hasn't been made yet. He met with the arbitrator for 2 hours on yesterday, and they're supposed to make a final decision this upcoming week if he's allowed to wear the helmet or not. And so I guess like he said, we'll wait and see what the decision is going to be. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to let him wear it, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, the NFL, they definitely have to protect these players from themselves. Mm-hmm. That's.
Well, I would say when is it? Do we reach the point where we're just like, all right, it doesn't matter, either you wear it or you don't play? Yeah. Like, because if you keep trying to be like, well, it's Antonio, and so we're just gonna let him do it. Like, then other players are gonna be like, well, why do I have to wear that? Why can't I wear this one from now until I'm done playing? So you have to set a standard and just be like, all right, this is it. Either you wear it or you don't play, and that goes. It doesn't matter who you are, because unfortunately, at Antonio Brown's expense, that's like the perfect person to do it to, because he's the big name who seems untouchable, and then you're like, it doesn't matter who you are.
Just got the big contract.
Right. And so it doesn't matter who you are. If you don't follow the rules, you don't play.
Yeah, because like you said, if you open that Pandora's box and you let Antonio wear this helmet, then where do you draw the line? Then where do you start for a player? Well, I've been wearing these cleats for such and such time. I want to keep wearing these cleats, or whatever it might be. You know?
I've been using these pads, so make sure I get these pads wherever I go.
If you do something that's as big as a helmet, which is, safety for you on the field, taking hits and stuff, then at that point, where do you draw the line? How do you stop anything else if you allow him to continue to play with that helmet?
And I guess two things for me is like, if they allow him to wear his helmet and then he gets hurt, who's at fault?
Yeah.
And as Dre said earlier, they done already came out of a lot of money with these concussion lawsuits, and the CTE and all that. And so, if he is allowed to wear that helmet and then gets hurt, is he gonna want to blame the NFL?
Well, if they do let him wear it, there is going to be a contract drawn up by a lawyer,
a waiver or something.
A waiver, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. A waiver. Definitely, it's going to be definitely drawn up, and he's going to have to sign that in order to wear that. And they're going to be like, hey, something happened to you? Not my fault.
Yeah.
And then my second thing, it's not the first time they've had an issue with helmets. They did LaDainian the same way with the blackout on the mask.
I forgot about that.
And so, still, the reasoning behind that was safety.
Right.
And they didn't budge on that. So,
yeah. I don't see him budging on this either, to be honest.
Has he been consistent enough lately to
warrant
the budge?
No, not at all. Is that his fault? We won't know until.
I mean, because he still did over 1,200 yards last year.
Right, and that was in that zoo of a situation.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? I'm not going to. I don't want us to dive too much into this, but do y'all remember when Antonio Brown went off on Juju? And how he did that? That was so childish. I don't have too much more to say about that.
And I guess that's my thing. Like, the antics have become so main for him as the priority.
It's like,
and so now it's like every year. Here's Antonio Brown.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
Like, something else goes on. Nope. Antonio Brown. It's me. It's AB. Call to God.
And I'm gonna do an interview about it, and then I'm gonna meet with these people, and then now it's on the news.
Because Juju never showed Antonio nothing but love. I mean, he always gave Antonio props.
Even when he was at USC, he was like, "Hey man, I'm an up and coming receiver." And then this dude Antonio Brown puts it out on Instagram saying, "Oh yeah, he was up in my DMs and but yeah, I'm in your DMs, man. I'm trying to get where you at."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that should be humble. I mean, like, dude, I don't want to talk.
I got you.
I respect him as a player. He's a heck of a player. He's I mean, we can talk about maybe next week. Your top threes, top fives of each position. I think that'd be a good topic for next week. But I would probably put him number one.
If he don't do anything this year, does he stay there? Or if he just does like on par? Because I feel like at this,
But what's on par? Like, does he at least get 1,000?
right?
Yeah,
Keep him.
you got to give him a couple years in this new system, new quarterback. He was with Ben since rookie year, so Antonio Brown's.
But
a
he
machine,
doesn't
man.
have. He
He's a
doesn't
machine.
have. I mean, he has the machine. Yeah, he's a machine. He has all that stuff, but he doesn't have the one accolade to put you over the top if you don't do nothing.
What's that? Super Bowl
A
champion.
Super Bowl or even making it.
He made the Super Bowl. They
Oh,
made
yeah.
the Super Bowl when they played Green Bay.
Was he on that squad?
I'm pretty sure he was. That might have been his rookie year. He's been in the league for a minute.
I don't remember if he was on that.
I'll
Was he
look it
on
up.
But-
I'll
the
look it up.
team when they played
The Cardinals. That's when they had Santonio Holmes
okay.
Yeah, that was
and Kurt
Antonio.
Warner was on there,
But then
and
they played Green Bay, and Green Bay beat them. That's
and he was on that squad. I just don't remember.
It could have been.
But the point is, this team that he's on now is rebuilding. You have a quarterback who I personally believe is not as good as everybody thinks he is,
I agree.
and his job as being considered one of the best receivers in the league is to then help elevate Derek Carr's game. If that does not happen, I can't put him number one. I don't think I can put him number one now over Julio Jones.
But with
Or even Hopkins. I feel like Hopkins at this point is doing more.
Okay, yeah. I forgot about Hopkins. Yeah, he might be.
Is
my
doing
number-
more
sorry.
for his teams.
I
Than,
misspoke.
Hopkins will be my number one.
Yeah.
I mean, Hopkins
with
has done it with less. Like, I don't care who you throw at quarterback on the Texans. Hopkins
Gets his
balls.
yards.
He balls regardless.
right.
I've never seen Antonio without being like.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. If he don't do nothing this time,
well, I think, and that's the issue too now with Derek Carr, because dealing with him not still being timid about that leg, how bad does that affect Antonio when the season starts?
yeah,
Antonio Brown was on that team.
he was.
He wasn't a starter because they still had Antoine Randall, Emmanuel Sanders, Hines Ward was still on that team. But Antonio Brown had 2 targets in that game, 1 catch for 1 yard. So he made it to a Super
So
Bowl.
he made it, but in that,
I think that was his rookie
little
year.
to zero impact,
Yeah, I think that
which
was his
wasn't his
rookie year.
fault. They was stacked.
So yeah, so
But-
you're right. So he has personal accolades.
Right. But most of them do. But I guess the other thing you say is, like you said, we've never seen him without Big Ben. I think this is the first time we're really going to see Derek Carr with a legit dynamic receiver. I can't think of one he's had.
Yeah, so he has no excuses.
So now you have to do something. Both of them really, but with all is Antonio Brown worth it? If he's doing what he's been doing, yeah, he's worth all these antics. But
Sure.
if he stops, then I think you got to let it die or whatever the case may be.
I agree. I want to get off of him because I think we already spent too much time on that man.
All right, we're gonna go into our second topic with our NFL contracts. So we got
All
we
right.
got Brady with a new contract, Zeke trying to get a new contract, other players trying to get paid, players
Tyreek.
who just got paid. So we'll get into that and maybe we can discuss who deserves the money, who don't deserve the money. Everybody want to get their money. So, I mean, you're worth what they're willing to give you, I guess. But go ahead, Dre.
Okay, I just got to go in here. Speaking of contracts, number one, seems like everybody on the Cowboys wants a brand new contract. They're talking about Dak wants one, Amari wants one, Zeke wants one. And so to me,
Byron Jones.
yeah, Byron Jones. Then you got players coming up. Jalen Smith next year. They start a linebacker coming up next year. So they got a bunch of people they got to pay. They just paid DeMarcus Lawrence. I gave him a big contract. Who's number one in that hierarchy of getting paid? Is it Dak?
Yeah,
Is it Zeke or Amari? Who do you take care of first?
the most talented player on that team is Zeke. Zeke is the Cowboys. If there's no Zeke, then you don't have that explosiveness that that you're going to get from a good team. But you got to take care of the quarterback first. You have to.
Your numbers state you got to take care of the
Yeah, because you take Dak out, then who you put in?
Not even that. It's like when you look at, what was it, when he got suspended for those 6 games, Zeke, and the first 3 games, the Cowboys were like struggling because they were a run heavy team, but then they stabilized, and I think they won like the next 3, and then they held on to make a push, and then with Zeke, they're a good team, but Dak was way better when they didn't have Zeke and they brought in Amari Cooper. They went like 7-1
that stretch. Yeah,
and before that, when they had Zeke, they were like barely over 500 or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. So clearly, when you got to pay your quarterback. Same scenario, like you said, who you put in, but also when the numbers tell you that the wide receiver quarterback combination without Zeke is working, how valuable is he when he still has 2 years left on his contract and these guys' contract is coming up?
Right, and that's what I was going to get into. I guess not wanting to have to play devil's advocate, but his contract's not up, and that's what you signed to play for. Now, granted, he did put up good numbers, but your contract's not up. Now, to request another contract, I'm cool with that, but then to not play, I feel like it's unfair because you're under contract to play.
With running backs, though, to me, it's a little different because their shelf life is only 4 or 5 years, and then after that, they done.
Exactly.
And so running backs, they got to get paid as soon as quickly as they can. And Zeke has a valid argument, in my opinion. He's led the league in rushing 2 out of his first 3 years. The only reason he didn't lead the league in rushing all 3 years is because he was suspended. Otherwise, he would have. So he's got that to hang his hat on.
It still almost got 1,000 in the suspension.
Exactly.
I think there should be a new, and they'll probably put this in the new collective bargaining agreement. They have to, they redid all the rookie contracts where the rookies, the number 1 picks was getting $60 million before they played a snap. Now they are all structured. Now they have to put in something where, because now it's like your first round pick. You got a 4-year contract and then a 5-year team option. Mm-hmm. You can't dispute that.
But they voted on that, didn't they?
They voted on that,
and some of the veterans were like, you shouldn't do it, but the majority of the people voted yes on it, so that they kind of put themselves in that position.
True. But it's just like anything. Like I said, they're making changes. So now they're like, oh shoot, this is happening to us. Now we have to go back to the table and readjust that bargaining agreement. So yeah, like you said, they, when that was brought to the table before, they agreed to it just to get away from those big contracts that the rookies were getting.
Yeah, Sam Bradford getting $60 million.
Yeah, crazy. Sam Bradford's probably made $100 million.
No, he's made bank.
Yeah, he's made 100.
He cleaned up.
I'm looking that up right now.
With the Cardinals Rams. But anyways, not to get off on Sam Bradford. But Zeke.
But do we think in that new CBA that we should look at shorter years?
I feel like rookie deals should be like 3 years.
Yeah,
and then
or 2 with an option.
But there's
especially because you said it's shelf life of running backs.
But there's another reason why they make them so long, because I draft a player, right? I draft a rookie. Most rookies don't go off on their first year. They don't even go off on their second year. They go off on their third year. Yeah. So then he's a free agent. He can go somewhere else. That's why they make them so long.
Yeah, right. But then like you said, then if you do go off, I still got you for a couple of years under a contract. Yeah, it's not really worth their production.
And then you have the option, like you said, but then also after that, I think they can franchise tag them, right? So you have that too. So then it's like, really, I got you for another 3 years because I got you for whatever the contract is. Then I got you for the option, and then I got the franchise tag.
Now, I do have a quick question. Make sure we all on the same page. Now, is it the team option is the only option, or do they get the player options in the NFL contracts?
NFL contracts never have player options.
They don't have player options.
Yeah, they don't do it.
That's
MLB and NBA.
Yeah, that's them.
But Zeke wants Todd Gurley money. Cowboys wants to give him closer to what Le'Veon got. So my next question would be, where do you stand on? Do you give him closer to what Todd Gurley got, or do you give him closer to what Le'Veon got? Where do y'all sit on that?
Whenever these players sign, they top each other. Mm-hmm. So he's going to get paid a little bit more than Todd Gurley. Does he deserve it? I think he deserves it. And I think he does. But is he worth it? That's two different, questions there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess the real question is, if you are outperforming your contract, should you have the right to be like, I want to restructure it and get paid for my production as opposed to what I signed for?
I think you have the right to request that your pay match your production, but should you still sit out until then, though?
Should you be allowed to?
Like Le'Veon is a big supporter of Zeke right now, but that didn't really work out in his favor too well.
Yeah, he lost a bunch of money.
He sat out. Yeah, he sat out, and then
I think it worked out perfectly in his favor. And I don't.
Well, because he sat out for the year, and I guess that was not his intention for the whole year.
No, he thought they was going to budge. Yeah,
but then the backup overperformed. And so it's like, so now we don't need you. And then he leaves. And then, he got decent money with the Jets.
He got paid. He's the second highest paid running back. And
he ran a huge risk.
Because then he get like 9.
Well, he got over like 30. It's all about guaranteed money in NFL. Yeah, he got over 30 million guaranteed, I believe. But I think Todd Gurley got around like 48 or something. And that's what Zeke is looking at. He's wanting that. He's looking at them guaranteed dollars that Todd Gurley got, and that's what he wants.
And I get that, but when was Todd Gurley's last game?
Super Bowl.
So
5 yards, or
I'm not saying he did a great job, but that was his last game. But then Zeke can't really compare.
Then you got players like Dak, who hasn't even made over $1 million. I don't think in any of his seasons, because he was a 3rd round pick. Mm-hmm. And so his contract, wasn't nowhere close to what some of these quarterbacks are getting. And so I'm with the other guys. I think you got to pay Dak first. You got to take care of your quarterback, and then go to Zeke. I think
does
Amari's
Zach still
third.
Perform well without that running option?
Yeah,
you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks.
He then have a full year with Amari.
Yeah, he has a receiver now. He has somebody to throw to. But the running game always sets up everything. So if you don't have a running game, but another thing that Dallas is top 5 in the league is they have the best top 5 line in the league. So I hate to say it, but they can probably stick me or you back there. We can go out there and get some yards.
And that's what I was going to say next. Like if you. For Dak to perform, do you need Zeke, or do you need a running back who can just get you some yards so that the pass is still effective?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then you pay Dak first.
And that's why I said Zeke he's worth every penny, but is he worth it for the team?
He
deserves the money, but is he worth it?
And we have to keep in mind it's Jerry Jones.
Right, it's Jerry Jones.
He's not going to budge.
And then this is what I would also look at. You said, do you need to pay Zeke, or do you just need a running back that can do that? Well, you can do that. You can let Alfred Morris come in here, give you your 5 yards a carry, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, 5 yards a carry.
I'm saying
3.5.
But I'm not going on a consistent basis. I could see.
Yeah, I'm not going off of like this is going to be his production. I'm just saying, ideally, what you would want is your running back give you 3, 4, sometimes 5 yards a carry every now and then, not every time, because he's just
enough to
closing in that 3rd and short to keep you on the field, give you a short 2nd and 3rd down. If you can have that, but then what you have with Zeke is somebody that can literally run you to the Super Bowl. He can literally break 20 yard touchdown. That puts you over. Just having like an Alfred Morris, that's cool. Regular season, get you in the playoffs, make it happen. But in the playoffs, trying to get to a Super Bowl
In cold weather games.
and cold weather games, I'm running the football. And who would I want a Todd Gurley, I want a Ezekiel Elliott, I want
Kareem Hunt.
I want a Le'Veon Bell. Those are the guys you want for championship teams.
Yeah.
That's just how you have to look at it. So you're gonna pay him. It's just a matter of when and how much. Because
go ahead.
Also, you have to look at their strength of schedule at the beginning. They can win without Zeke, like their first 3 or 4 games of the season. They don't play anybody that they can't beat. If you were going in, you had to play the Patriots at Foxborough. I'm paying them. I need you for that game. But they're like they open up their first 3 games is like something like the Giants and a couple of other weaker teams. Like you can pull those out without Zeke.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I would go Dak 1.
You got to go
Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke 2. Even though this is not what's going to happen. Dak 1, Zeke 2, Amari 3. And then, I mean, you got to take care of Byron Jones, too. So they got a lot of people to pay.
They can't pay everybody.
And I think that's what the Chiefs is going to run up against really soon as well. And if you guys want to transition to the Chiefs, you got Tyreek Hill, who is up for a contract.
Hey, I'm sorry. We just had our fourth
Special
party
guest.
member arrival. The Chris Mays is here.
See Money May.
See what I mean? He was late.
Hey,
CJ
CJ.
Mayo.
Let's go ahead and welcome him to the podcast.
It's goody, fellas.
What's going on?
Apologies for being late,
It's all right.
but we made it.
Very, very long standing ovation.
Better late than never.
All right, so Chiefs.
Yeah, like I was saying, we got the Chiefs who are in a very similar situation with the Tyreek Hill contract that's coming up. Chris Jones, who had a holdout before training camp, ended up showing up on day 1.
Good to see him in camp.
Who else is coming up, guys?
I don't know what Kelsey's got left on his deal.
Kelsey's good. Mahomes, oh my gosh. Mahomes, we was talking about in pre-production. Mahomes is going to get $200 million.
That's the
5
next-
years,
the
$40
next
million a year. That's what he's getting. That might even be the start right there. Hey, this is where we're going to start. And he might not be like, you know what, I want a little more. And I don't blame him. And we had talked about this before. I do not blame anybody for getting their money. But when you got the Tom Brady's of the world who has been taking less money for years, and he's just now taking a little bit of more money, like, I mean, as a Chiefs fan, I want Pat to take a little bit of a hometown discount, but
You can't knock him.
I
though.
want him to get his money, man. He's the best player in the game. He's the most exciting player in the game. He's selling so many tickets, so many season tickets. He's doing so much for the team. He's going to get his money. So then we kind of got to figure out a way to build around it.
My thing is, obviously, I mean, we all love Tyreek Hill. Don't get me wrong. We love to have him on the team. We love to have him out there. But at the same time, when his deal comes up, if it's not cost friendly to the team, I'm willing to let Tyreek walk. Honestly, you can find fast receivers. You can find
Cole.
You can find gadget guys to do all the stuff that Tyreek does. Now, don't get me wrong. They might not be as fast as him, but there's fast guys everywhere, all over the place in the NFL. And so I'm not going to break the bank for Tyreek Hill when his contract comes up. My top two priorities, like he says, Patrick Mahomes and then Chris Jones on that defensive line, who had 15 sacks last year.
15 and a half.
He can walk.
What?
Do you think they start? Mahomes,
It's a different scheme now, man. When we're gonna see this year, and that's why I think the Chiefs played it well. Where let's see what he does under Spagnuolo's scheme.
4-3, right?
4-3.
Okay.
He's playing D tackle now. Technically in the 3-4 he was kind of lined up, the same way, but he's going to be rushing a little bit different at times up the middle. So they're going to ask him to do different things. Now I think for what he's asking for, he wants as much money as
Aaron Donald?
No, I'm sorry. The guy we just signed,
Clark?
Yeah, he wants as much money as him. We can't pay 2 people on the line like that and then pay Patrick Mahomes and then turn around and field a championship team. We can't.
Yeah, because Tyrann Mathieu, what did he get? Didn't he get 45?
He
or something
got
like that?
14 a year, I think,
Yeah.
for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
So
Let him walk.
Again, I love Chris Jones. I love him. But whenever you're building a championship team,
Yeah, I got you.
I'm sorry, not even building a championship team. When you have a team, when you're a GM of a team, you know you got to pay Pat Mahomes.
Of course.
We know he's getting $40 million plus.
You think they start on him before they even address Jones?
Jones is not getting paid this year. He's not. They're gonna roll the dice. If he gets 15 sacks, this is what's gonna happen. If he balls out this year, even if he doesn't ball out, we're gonna franchise him. We're gonna trade him just like we did D Fort. That's what's gonna happen. Unless he is just the force that you know what, we have to pay him. We have to pay him. We got to figure it out. But I think we're gonna let him walk.
He's gonna get a lot of double
And
teams.
get it, yeah, and get a second round pick for him.
Man, I mean, yeah, I could see that. I would just hate to lose him. But like you said, I mean, obviously you can't pay everybody. And with Clark under contract for what was it, 4 years that we got Clark on that deal, or
Might be five.
5?
55 and a half.
There's no way you can pay two guys on the D line that much money when you're paying Patrick Mahomes $40 million a year. So that'll be tough to pull off. But I mean, I love Chris Jones. I love everything about him. His energy, his leadership.
Most definitely.
The man just shows up in balls every day. And I think the defense is going to be on fire this year. With Tyrann Mathieu running the back end, I've been watching some clips. This man is just, I mean, he's already coming in filling that role as a leader.
Communicating.
Yeah, he's a hell of a communicator.
Nose for the ball.
Man, honey badger, what they call him. And then Clark on that line. I'm only thing that held us back, in my opinion, was our defense last year. I'm not worried about our offense putting up points. We're gonna put up points. I'm not worried about that.
I don't think it was our players last year. I think it was just a scheme, man. We was doing the same stuff. I ran into Steve Nelson at whenever I was working at the car wash there, and he told me, man, he was like, you know what, they was running the same thing over and over again. We was looking at each other, was like, really? All right.
Yeah, just so many times. What do you expect?
Yeah. So I think with this new scheme, and like you said, you got some new blood on the line, you got new blood in the back half. I think we're gonna be rolling, man. Like you said, I think this defense is going to take a step forward. It might not be top 10, but you know, with the offense that we have, if we can get in the top 20,
Yeah.
I mean, with the 31st defense last year, we almost made the Super Bowl.
If we hold teams to 24 points a game, I mean that's
We'll be just fine.
we'll be
yeah.
fine.
Even with the drop off, this
Yeah.
offense will be.
We'll be just fine.
Everybody
notch.
stay healthy, man. It's going to be a good one.
Just a quick question.
Closing?
Do you think we franchise Tyreek at all to keep him instead of letting him walk?
Nah, they're going to pay him.
You think so?
I think he's going to get a contract before the season.
I could see that because honestly, he probably would end up paying more.
Because Julio has to get a contract. Mike Thomas just got one, and
Nice
OBJ just got paid too last year. So we don't have to go into details how much, but he's going to get paid before the season. I think we can go ahead and switch gears. If you guys or anybody else got anything,
He deserves it.
All right, we're gonna switch gears into some basketball. There it is. Team USA, or the lack of star talent on Team USA. I'll
2004 repeat.
yeah. So I'll lead in on this one. I wasn't overly impressed with the exhibition game on yesterday. Granted, we were playing against each other, but
I didn't see it.
you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Marvin Bagley. Oh no, I'm going.
So they've already made 2 cuts. Thaddeus Youngest got cut, and Bam Adebayo both got cut.
Bam.
And so,
Okay.
Joe Harris, bro.
based upon what's been shown or seen, it's kind of like the Celtics featuring Team USA.
Real talk. They got like 10 players on the team, the Celtics alone.
So,
Minus Curry.
so it's gonna be tough. We're looking at a 2004 bronze year thing, because the world has caught up.
Do we medal?
Oh, we medal.
I mean,
for
we
sure.
medal, but
We medal.
I just seen Joe Harris on the team, man. I'm sorry.
I think they can. This team can at least pull out a bronze. But I mean, not to jump ahead, but anytime you send Carmelo home and you leave Joe Harris on the team, that's a slap in the face. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. Like he was saying, this team USA, you got 4 Celtics on there. Okay, Marcus Smart is on this team USA. That tells you how many top players didn't want to be on. No disrespect to Marcus Smart,
Bulldog.
no disrespect.
Technicals.
Nose.
But Marcus Smart and Joe Harris are
I just
on
want
this
to say I do not like Marcus Smart since it's Oklahoma State Day. Let's go ahead.
team. I agree.
Same.
But
I'm good with that.
even with the lack of top players, I think we should talk about why did so many players drop out and go home? Why
Real
didn't
quick
they want
before we go into let me just run down this roster.
Load management.
Marvin Bagley III, Harrison Barnes, Jaylen Brown, De'Aaron Fox, Joe Harris,
Jeez.
3-point king,
Yeah. Okay.
Kyle Kuzma, Brooke Lopez, definitely not the Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton,
Champion.
Donovan Mitchell, Mason Plumlee, Marcus Smart,
They said Plumlee.
Jason
You don't even
Tatum,
start on this team.
PJ Tucker,
That Duke pedigree.
Miles Turner, Kemba Walker, Derek White.
I don't even know who Derek White is, to be
Plays
honest
for the
with you.
Spurs.
I'm not even going to lie.
He plays for the Spurs. He's
The
not.
big-
I mean, he's not bad. He's not Team USA worthy.
Is he a big or a guard?
He's a guard.
We got bench players,
Real guard. heavy.
okay? Bench players out here on Team USA.
Extremely guard heavy. I will say that. We
Let's
are
see how
extremely-
good Coach Pop is.
Yes. Now they say apparently he's
Earn that
running a
money.
good system.
That's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Popovich is taking over.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Okay.
Coach K's
No more
done.
Coach K.
Yeah, and they said Pop is running a really good system right now.
Still getting Duke kids in there.
Yeah. So based upon what we've heard, who's your star player? Like who goes out there and gets you buckets to get you games?
Kimba's your number one
I
option.
think I'm going Kimba.
I don't know who number 2 is, though, to be honest with you.
I like De'Aaron Fox
De'Aaron-
a lot, but I
De'Aaron
just
Fox
don't
with
think
the
he's
speed.
ready. I don't think he's ready to step up and
I
lead
thought
this team.
I thought Tatum took a step back last year.
Spider too, yeah. Spider.
I don't think Tatum's step back was his fault though.
I think that had a lot to do with Kyrie.
I do.
Yeah.
So do I think he can still put up buckets.
And Gordon Hayward.
Yes. Now I think Tatum.
Gordon Hayward was a bigger problem than Kyrie was, I think.
Damn,
for that
Harrison
team.
Barnes is on this team.
That's a lot of minutes that were
Yes.
not there the year before. Then with the,
So I think we can all agree Kemba is your leader.
I think naturally.
So but then again, who's your clear second option if Kemba has an off night? Because Kemba's gonna have to play like
Maybe-
that Connecticut year
Man,
every
Steve-
night.
Hey, we're gonna need some minutes from Steve Kerr off the bench.
Man,
He can line up there and shoot threes. I mean,
Put rolling them
because-
up and suit them up, Steve.
we've gotten to a point now where in the international game, all their bigs can go out on the floor.
Shoot. Dribble.
None of the bigs that we have going.
well, Brooke Lopez though.
And I think maybe Middleton. If he
Well,
can
Middleton's
get hot.
He's 6'7". Yeah, Middleton can
I
score.
mean,
he can put.
shoot.
Well, I mean, defensively, can
Well,
we stop
No,
their bigs?
no.
Like, are you?
They gonna put PJ Tucker at the 4.
Are
you
you
know
se-
that.
are you secure with
6'6".
Marvin Bagley guarding their best
outside.
7-foot shooter?
Well, they still got 3 more cuts to do. So I mean, because I think they're at 15 right now, and they got to get down to 12.
And I mean, we've already cut Thaddeus
He said
Young.
that young. I would say I'd rather have him than Bagley.
I'd rather have
defensively.
Thaddeus Young than a couple of these other names.
I mean,
So who gets cut next? I think that's the.
How many are they carrying?
I believe 12.
I believe 12, and they sitting at 15 right now. I believe.
So the 3 that I'm cutting,
You're gonna have to cut Derek White. You
Derek-
already have
Derek
too many.
White's
You already
gone.
have too many guards.
Derek White's gone for sure. You got to keep the bigs. I was gonna say Plumlee, but he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
He's a
I honestly think Joe Harris is gonna get cut. He's 6'6".
yeah. Joe
We
Harris,
already have.
Joe
we got,
Harris is
you got
gone.
you got Kyle Kuzma. You got Chris Middleton. You got enough.
I'd
At
cut
that size.
I'd cut Plumlee because you can run small.
Get Marcus Smart out of there, man. Like, I mean, he's a good defensive player, but he's a nutcase, man.
Yeah. So you got Harrison Barnes 6'8", Jaylen Brown 6'7", Kuzma 6'9", Middleton 6'8". So you don't really need Joe Harris. So he's going home.
I'm not sure how Joe Harris got the invite anyway. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
I mean,
I think that leads into the next part of the conversation though. those who did not want to go.
A lot of ill participants.
I thought I heard that they sent out like so many invitations and like about 50 invitations got denied, or not denied, but rejected, turned down.
I know they said there's at least 9 of the big stars who said no, which included
LeBron, Kawhi.
Damian told him no. CJ McCollum told him no.
That's a lot of wear and tear.
And
that was CJ's reason.
they just care at this point. The top players. I mean, if it's not the Olympics,
I think that may be something to discuss.
That makes
like,
sense.
FIBA
Yeah,
and the World Olympics is not the same.
But they got to qualify. Oh, wait. They already qualified because they won the gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we always qualify. It's just what group we'll end up being in. And so it's like, do you try to restructure come Olympic time? Because you don't have to keep the team.
How much money are they getting paid, too?
I don't know.
that's a good question. I don't know.
Are they even getting paid? Is it you're representing your
It's a
country?
nation pride thing? Or?
Yeah.
I understand going younger. Because some of these guys, they're just not good. It's too many miles.
They're not ready.
Too long of a season, but it's going to be a downtime in between.
I don't want to spend too much more time on this because, I mean,
you
roll out a roster with Joe Harris on it. Like, I don't even know who Joe Harris is for real. To be honest with you,
3-point king.
They
Okay.
put a name with a face.
Because I got to touch on Carmelo for a second here, because this is something that's just really okay.
He's getting blackballed. Period.
I agree.
Period.
My thing with Carmelo is, though, that he thinks he's still the same player that he was when he was in Denver or those first few years in New York, and he's not that guy. And he even said in his interview with Stephen A. Smith that it was hard for him to accept coming off the bench. Like that was tough for his ego. And he said he had gotten to a point with Houston where he accepted it. He said he was fine with it, and then after 10 games, they sent him home. They cut him. But Carmelo, I feel like he just it's when you're a top player for so long, it's hard for you to take that back seat.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
thought
Kobe
Dwayne
was
Wade
never
did.
going to do it.
I thought Dwayne Wade did it well.
D Wade did it. But it takes a special kind of guy. Allen Iverson couldn't handle it.
No.
Because he was used to being that guy. Certain guys can't handle coming off the bench when you've been the number one guy. You won a national championship in college at Syracuse. You come in the league.
Yes,
Let's skip over that.
You come in the league. You balling in the
Best
NBA.
days of my life.
He's always been that guy, and so it's hard for him to accept it. But at the same time, Team USA won't even take you. And you got players like Joe Harris and Derek White out there. I mean, that's a slap in the face.
Real slap in the face.
I don't care who you are. When you've been that guy, and now you got to take a back seat, and they tell you, no, we rocking with Joe Harris.
And did you hear what Jerry said? Mm-mm. He said that they didn't want it to be a circus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a distraction.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, I get it too. But
Two things. Let me
what
just.
Carmelo are we getting though?
Yeah, everybody's on social media, right?
True.
I think this the special black ops that they be doing is not a true tale of how good Carmelo is. Everybody seems to be balling when they go to that gym.
With a hood on.
Hell,
Yeah, so
freaking J. Cole was hooping.
Yeah, so I'm saying I don't know if
Yeah,
that
it was. It was
I don't know if
dress.
that's a good attest to how good
Good video
Carmelo still
editor.
is. Granted, is he as good as he was? No.
No.
But is it that many people in the league that's better than Carmelo right now?
Absolutely
I don't
not.
think so.
No.
No.
And can he still go get you double digits on a second unit?
I think he can average 24 for Team USA right now.
think this
I
will
mean, if
be
you
a
just
good
let him
24 and
for
10, yeah.
If you just let him loose.
This could be a good look for him. Leader, locker room.
But will he ever play in the NBA again? I think that ship has sailed. I don't think he'll ever play.
I think somebody's gonna give him a chance. I do think he
I
might
do
be
have a question.
blackballed
I think the
by a
Lakers
couple
Did the
teams.
interview hurt or help?
It had that. I mean,
I
it
think
didn't
might
hurt
help.
him.
I think it might help.
It didn't hurt him.
And I think the Lakers might give him a shot. I
Nah.
can see it.
I don't know about. There's already a lot of personalities in that locker room, though. And
Yeah, I'm really surprised they brought Rondo
I'm
back
thinking more second
because
unit.
Rondo was talking so much stuff on LeBron.
What? I didn't hear him say anything disrespectful, but at the same time, Rondo's already used to playing with. He played that year with Cousins and AD, so they already have that chemistry. They balled out that year that they had Rondo, and then he played last year with LeBron, obviously. So I think Rondo would be a good fit.
Oh, he's a good fit. I just was surprised they brought him back.
I don't think Melo fits into the Lakers scheme, though, does he?
What scheme does he fit into? Who's the worst team in the league?
Send him back to the Knicks.
Or the Grizzlies.
Vancouver.
Yeah,
You're right.
Steve franchise out there.
Wow.
And so I'm just not sure if the interview hurt him or helped him. Like, I mean, he gave up a lot of information, which I think kind of showed more of, I don't want to say his selfishness, because he said like he was informed that this person wasn't going to be here, that person wasn't going to be here. And so that affected his decision making. But that's now. So for all these years, it's been looked at like, oh, he just went to the money. And so it's kind of hard to change that narrative just because you say, oh, I was going to go here, but then they told me that this person was going to be gone the next year. But it's like, but then you still stayed with a team that didn't have anybody when you could have at least had somebody for a year. And then to turn down the Miami situation, I think was tough.
Yeah, I mean,
We talking
hindsight's
not
20,
6, not 7, not 8. That
Yeah.
Miami? Okay.
He said he was supposed to do that, but he didn't understand the business part of it at that age.
He should have.
Because he said Bron and them tried to get him to do the 3-year deal with the player option, but he wanted the money.
Because now he's going down as a Charles Barkley, Pat Ewing.
Yeah, he's in that category now.
Definitely.
Because you can't take away the fact that he put up numbers.
Oh, man. One of the best scorers the game's ever seen, but no hardware.
One of the baddest wives too we've ever seen. Well, used to be.
Shout out,
I
Power.
think they're still working it out.
Somebody did this.
Setup.
Loso.
Shout out to him.
Ludicrous.
So we've pretty much covered the next two topics. So we'll close out on our last topic for NFL predictions.
Let's go. Preseason started this week.
All right, going into the season, who was your front runner for MVP this year?
Both sides. Offense, defense.
We can do that.
Offense, does Pat repeat as your?
I don't think so.
I'm going Drew Brees. I think they're going to give him a sympathy MVP
Victory
because
lap.
he's never won one, and they tried to, but you couldn't deny Patrick Mahomes' season last year, so they didn't have a choice. But I think if Brees comes close to anything he had last year, they're going to give him the MVP.
How many yards does Breeze needs to get it?
He can throw for 4,700 yards. As long as he gets to like 35, 40 touchdowns.
4,000 and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he
between 4,000 to 5,000.
He's gonna complete
4 to
70% of his passes. Like,
I'm
I
Drew
see it.
Brees, and I'm going to go Khalil Mack on defense.
Strong pick.
I like the pick.
I agree because I think Patrick Mahomes will, numbers wise, drop down, but he'll still be great. But yeah, he snatched that MVP out of Breeze's hands last year.
Yeah, you couldn't deny him.
I think he's getting a victory lap. Drew Brees,
Okay.
that Khalil Mack,
Dude is a monster.
he is.
I'm gonna go a little bit of hot take.
Cue
I'm
the
gonna
horns.
go
Cue the horns.
for the MVP contract year. I think Dak is gonna get it.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I was looking for the green button.
I think Dak is gonna get
Explain
it.
why, please, sir.
He has the number one wide receiver finally.
Pop Warner.
He has the line. He has the stage. He has the legs. Dak is a good player, man. He's a good player. He's not Pat Mahomes. He's not Drew Brees. But he can put up numbers, and that's all you need to win MVP.
I think he's a
Is he going to have the numbers, though? That's my question. Is he
Yeah.
going to put up enough stats?
I think so. And
And if he puts up the numbers, but they don't win the games,
That makes it tough.
like, because I mean, if him and Amari have an awesome year together, but then they still don't win
man,
the game,
they have a defense too, man.
They're going to win games.
They're gonna be a good team this
Cowboys
year.
going to be solid.
Giants are down.
Zeke is coming back. He's coming. He's not gonna pull a Le'Veon. He's just not, in my opinion.
I think they.
do you think they got enough to lock up the NFC East?
I think so.
Who
Giants
they got to
are
beat the
down.
Eagles.
Redskins are down. Eagles. Who knows if Wentz will even be there?
I like the Eagles, but
I like the Cowboys.
I
better.
got to see Carson Wentz stay healthy.
Exactly.
True.
And now they don't have Nick Foles to rely on.
Piggyback ride. Fold
So
And just like honestly, I'm a Cowboys hater. I don't like the Cowboys, but just speaking objectively, top to bottom, Cowboys is loaded. Like
Nice.
they got talent all over the field, offense, defense.
linebackers,
All
rush.
all three levels on their defense is solid. Every level on offense is solid to me. So I mean, Cowboys gonna have a great team. Dak will have to win MVP though. He would have to have a monster year to win MVP. and I just don't know if he can pull off the stats. That's my only thing.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about defensively.
I think I'm rolling with you, Dre, on Mac.
Khalil.
It's either Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald.
I was say the way they played Aaron Donald last year, and he still put up the numbers.
That
It's
dude's
like
a monster.
what
man.
different can you do?
That dude's a monster.
Pick somebody else.
Oh, shoot.
Who's the safety at San Diego though? Is it Derwin James?
Derwin James. That dude's
Watch out for
good.
him too.
It was
He's nice.
Yeah, he is nice. I don't know. I'll have to kind of think
Sleeper
a little
team.
bit more. Sleeper team?
Are the Browns going to go
I was about to
finish
say, I knew he
above
was
500?
I knew you was gonna say Browns.
Yeah.
Above 500.
They win 9 games.
Yeah.
I think they won 9. Because they have a really, really tough division. They got to play Baltimore twice.
That division is solid.
They got to play the Steelers twice. And, well, I'm not going to talk about Cincinnati.
AJ Green always hurt.
Yeah.
Maybe they might sneak one out of there. Cincy against Cleveland. But Cleveland, they finished over 500.
I don't trust the Browns because of the personalities in that locker room. Baker is, I don't care what you say. As a player, Baker is nice. But mentally, Baker ain't all there sometimes. This dude be losing it. You saw it in college. He was going nuts, sticking the flag in the middle of the field.
With the mustache.
The turf.
Grabbing.
Wouldn't hold the
Yeah,
flag.
grabbing his crotch at pointing at KU, going nuts, losing it. In the pros, I feel like the first time they go on like a 2 or 3 game losing
I was
streak,
going to say. What happens after
Fingers
the
gonna be
losing?
pointing.
No, OBJ crazy.
OBJ, as soon as he care about his stats more than he care about winning games. As soon as he go out there and have 2 catches for 17 yards and Landry end up having a bigger game than he do, I don't care if they win or not.
I about to say, but then on top of that, if they lose,
OBJ, you gonna hear it from him because he can't keep quiet. He gonna have a mouth.
Rookie head coach.
Yeah, Freddie Kitchens think he think he the Bill Belichick already. I mean, so
This thing since sliced bread.
I think this Cleveland thing's gonna blow up. In my opinion, I think it's gonna blow up.
I don't think they can afford a multiple game losing streak
So
and keep things intact.
are you saying they're a sleeper pick or sleeper team or no?
I think the potential is there.
I think Jacksonville would be a sleeper team.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Foles Magic. They got the defense. Are they still Saxonville? I guess we'll see.
I got to see Fournette stay healthy. I got to see him stay level
And
headed.
keep his head on too. He's another.
And their
case.
receivers. I mean, I like D.D. Westbrook. They got Marquise Lee. I guess that ain't a bad pick.
I'm saying Baltimore comes back strong.
I want to piggyback off the Jacksonville pick. The other issue is, Nick Foles magic, but that's playoffs. He's not really
A good regular
season quarterback. So just want to throw that out there.
And he has to have talent too. He has to have talent and creativity as offensive coordinator behind him.
Jacksonville didn't have a whole lot
I
of
do like
creativity last year.
I like Jacksonville though.
Yeah.
Like I said, defense wins championships. Got Jalen Ramsey.
They carry.
Got Josh Allen. They draft pick.
They carry Bortles. And I think if they at least get there, they'll show a little bit better.
I will say they made Bortles look real good last year.
2 years ago.
2 years.
Oh,
2 years
ago.
ago.
Yeah, last year was garbage.
Yeah, 2 years.
Garbage.
2 years ago, but same philosophy, I believe, with a better quarterback.
Yep, run the ball and play good defense. Yep.
I think my favorite division to watch this year, that the NFC South is so interesting to me. With the Saints, you got the Panthers. Is Cam Newton gonna bounce back after that shoulder surgery?
Still
Christian
see.
McCaffrey is a baller, and then you got the Buccaneers, Jameis with Bruce
Contract
Arians.
year.
I think Jameis is gonna ball out. That might be my sleeper team is Tampa Bay. To be honest with you, Jameis is gonna ball out with Bruce Arians, who they call the quarterback
Mike
whisperer.
Evans.
Mike Evans, who put up huge points for me on my fantasy team last year. Love you, Mike Evans. He's a beast. He's a baller.
Shout out to him.
They got a solid defense. And then the other team in the NFC South is the Falcons. Matt Ryan, you still got Julio.
Baller.
That division is loaded. I think Saints will still come out on top. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I could see any of those teams winning that division. Like I said, Jameis has a lot to prove this year, and everybody in that division has a lot to prove as a quarterback besides Drew Brees. That could be an interesting division.
We kind of skipped over my sleeper pick. It's cool. San Francisco.
Just to say that. And I like their division also.
Talk about hot takes.
San Francisco, man.
No,
Jimmy G?
yeah.
Jimmy G, if he stays healthy.
Healthy Jimmy G.
They've been building this defense for years,
Okay.
for the last few years.
Kittles.
They got George Kittle.
Yeah, beast.
Running backs, they got Tevin Coleman now. They got Tevin Coleman.
Newly acquired D forward.
D Ford, so they got a established rush. Richard Sherman.
Sherm.
Yeah.
Garoppolo got to leave the porn stars alone, though. That's what got him in trouble. I'm just saying.
They need to stay out of Kansas City. That's what got him hurt.
threw him off. Once that stuff came out, then he got hurt in Kansas City.
They need to stay out of Kansas City.
But anyways, I don't
Hey,
know.
work for Drake.
Thank you. I got all the pop culture knowledge if you need it. But as far as the division, I don't think you have to worry about the Cardinals. This is their first year. Kyler Murray, he doesn't have a downfield receiver. Larry Fitzgerald's 47 years old now, still trying to ball. No disrespect. Patrick Peterson don't really want to be there. But
He's suspended as well.
Patrick Peterson?
He got suspended first 4 games for PED.
Yeah, they're going to be garbage.
Not expecting anything out of them, but you still got Russ in Seattle. He just got paid, and he is a proven gamer.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you still got the Rams coming off a Super Bowl loss. I think they come back hungry.
Jared Goff, though, I saw some chinks in the armor, to use that.
I cannot. I mean, granted,
Todd Gurley
it's the
also.
Chiefs, but Jared Goff looked good against the Chiefs. But yeah, I guess everybody
looked good against the Chiefs defense last year.
yeah.
Offensively, yeah.
But that Super
He
Bowl,
proved me
I was
wrong, though.
disappointed. You're going up against the Patriots and Belichick, but Goff looked like trash in that Super Bowl last year. I was very disappointed. And they should have lost to the Saints, to be honest. But we
You're
won't
right.
go there.
You're right.
Yeah.
Did they lose anybody though, talent wise?
I mean, Dominican Sue, but yeah, I'm just
Talent-wise?
I'm just shout. Hey, Nebraska, you would
Shout
not,
out the black
you would-
shirts.
You will not disrespect Dominican Sue.
Okay, so we'll end it right here. Super Bowl predictions. Dre.
This is early on, but AFC, of course, I'm going Chiefs. I think Chiefs will do it in the AFC. They got close last year. If it wasn't for D Ford's ass being offside, we would have been in that game. Me and our producer almost died of frostbite last year at that game, but it was a great game to be at.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs will be there.
Right.
NFC, although I hate to say it, I'm going Cowboys.
Cowboys?
I'm
Okay,
going
Chiefs,
Cowboys. They are loaded. I'm sorry. You can want me if you want. Cowboys are loaded. It's either gonna be Cowboys or Saints, but I'm gonna lean Cowboys.
Ern.
I mean, I guess you got to go across the board. I got to go with the Chiefs on the AFC side. Kind of going through the AFC, it's going to be tough with the Chargers. Indianapolis, I think it's going to be in if Andrew Luck stays healthy. They got Justin Houston now, so they got a little bit of more of a defense. And of course, you got the Patriots. And then on the NFC, I go New Orleans, man. I think they got something to prove with the penalty that happened, or I'm sorry, the non-call that happened last year, and them losing that game the way they did. I think they're going to be on that Royals type run. We were there, we should have been there, and we're just going to run through the league and make it to the Super Bowl. So I see New Orleans and the Chiefs as a hell of a Super Bowl.
That'd be great.
Lots of points.
Yeah.
CJ.
I'm piggybacking off of that too. Chiefs AFC, New Orleans NFC. No defense, all offense. That's that game.
60-63.
Yeah, last year's MVP, this year's MVP.
Ooh, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, and it's in Miami.
Is it Miami?
Yeah, it's Miami this year.
I believe
Oh
so.
man,
My Super Bowl pick, Chiefs. I think the Rams are going to return.
That's what I wanted to see last year.
I'm just saying they
tell me why, please.
I think they come back hungry simply because people said they shouldn't have been there last year.
I concur.
And then they got there and embarrassed themselves. And so now it's like, now we got to show that not only did we deserve to be there, but we can win it.
And I know I said I like their division, but they probably run it through.
Yeah, it's clear. I mean, it's clearly between them and Seattle. I mean, he likes the Niners, but yeah, I'm just not a believer in the Rams. I'm not. I can't. I'm not a believer in the Rams.
It's a lot of
Well,
talent.
they done it
on
2
that
years. They done it 2 years in a row, making the playoffs. So
team. It's a lot of
it's
talent.
really hard to write them off with the young quarterback, the young running back. the good wide receivers, the defense, and the really smart head coach. So yeah, so it's really hard to write them off, man. Yeah, we can make a break.
What's your final take?
Final take. Definitely looking forward to football. I think it's gonna be a great season. Real interesting. A lot of parity this season. Same with NBA. I think it's gonna be a great year for sports. Mark my words. That's my final take.
Ernie?
Really quick take. I think this probably can turn it into a topic next week. But what really, really pissed me off is the Kareem Hunt. How we cut him and the Browns picked him up really quick. I think there should be some type of incentive that if we make that move because, morally the Chiefs cut him because of, what he did, then if somebody else picks him up, they need to give me a second round pick or something. Not we lose everything. And that's the reason why we didn't drop Tyreek Hill. Is because of how quickly somebody picked up Kareem Hunt. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the season. And this was fun, guys.
Final takes. Number one, I'm gonna throw in real quick. Go Big Red. Nebraska's bouncing back. Scott Frost is in the building. Got his own recruits. I see us rising back to prominence like we were in the 90s. My real final take is, I'm sorry, I had to get that in there. Lakers. I am excited about, everybody knows I'm a huge Lakers fan. I'm excited about this upcoming season. I'm excited about the parity that is finally back in the NBA. It's not just going to be Warriors and Cavaliers.
Yeah.
It can actually be anybody in the West. There's actually 10 great teams. I don't know if you want to say great, but 10 solid teams. No doubt about it in the West. East is still garbage. You got like 3 teams and then that's it. But I'm excited about the West. I feel like Lakers are going to take it. We're coming back. Kobe's going to come out there and they're going to sign him in the playoffs. He's coming out there dropping 60 in Game 7 of the World Championship. Mark my words. That's my final take.
Can we mute him? Nah, I'm a Lakers fan too. But hey, that's a good topic. That's a good topic for next week. No, I'm sorry.
Can he step away from detail?
The teams that are actually going to make the playoffs out the West, because there are 10 good teams.
It's loaded.
For sure.
Next time you say some crazy stuff like that, you getting cut off.
I don't think ESPN will allow that.
Man.
Too many details.
My final take, I'm excited about the sports, period.
Yes.
These coming up seasons. NBA is going to be real interesting. I know we just talked about that with the West. I think we're going to get back into a early
gauntlet
mid 2000s West where you got teams winning upper 40, lower 50 games and missing the playoffs. I think it's going to be that kind of year for the West. So it's going to be real exciting to see and all the new duos and how they work together. It's going to be trial and error at the first part of the year, but I think it's going to get real good after All-Star break. Episode 1, KC Sports Bros podcast.
Yeah.
Coming back episode 2 with some more good content, some good back and forth with the squad. This is Ace. Am I right?
It's your boy Dre. Am I right?
Big Earn out. To my right.
CJ.
All right, join us next week.